Hey, I wanted to talk about something that I haven't seen in a while regarding Marvel Rivals, and that I haven't seen it since like a week or two after the devs confirmed that they were not adding characters with similar silhouettes. People who wanted Red Hulk or Spider-Man Miles Morales, they're like, well, but these could be completely different characters. And while I agree, I think that at their base, they are still the same, quote unquote. Like Miles Morales, right? So Miles Morales, if you are a New York citizen in if you are a New York citizen in the Marvel universe, those are the words I'm trying to say. You don't say, "Oh, that's Miles Morales." You say, "Oh, that's Spider-Man." They're both Spider-Man to you. And that's the thing, at their core identity, both of these characters are Spider-Man, objectively. Like, we just say Spider-Man Miles Morales to separate them because Miles Morales came afterwards. At least that's the way it should be. Some people say, oh, some people are racist and they're fucking pigs. But that's neither here nor there. At their core identity, they are both Spider-Man. So if Miles Morales is in the game, his key powers, he has other powers in the comics sometimes, but for the most part, every single portrayal only displays him with these two extra powers: the bioelectricity and the invisibility. And I could be wrong. Hear me out. I could be wrong. I don't read a lot of Miles Morales. He's not my favorite Spider person. I read other Spider people instead. He's not my favorite, so I wouldn't know that much. I know a little bit, like background stuff, but as far as like mainstream media goes, right? If you're going to know this character, it's but the bioelectricity and the invisibility. Those are the two things that he really has, at least to the general public, that are unique from other Spider-Man. So if you make this character and put him into Rivals, how would he play? Well, if he swings around like Spider-Man, because he is Spider-Man, well, then he's too close to the Spider-Man we already have, and it's boring. We now have a duplicate character. Same thing for someone like Red Hulk. So I think, instead of adding these characters, they should, in the future, maybe not right now, compromise and add a new level of skin, right? So we have the legendary skins. Either make them a legendary skin or a new tier above that where it is completely new. It's a new skin, completely new sound effects if they fit. Actually, just do new sound effects because that's what kind of separates epic and legendary as it is. The MVP, all of that, and then give them unique voice lines with a different voice actor. So like Miles Morales, the Spider-Man uppercut, put electricity on that instead of the web, because he webs up. It looks like he has wrapping and webs. Make it electricity when he uppercuts instead of that. I think that's a really good animation change. Change a few animations, change the skin, and then give a Miles Morales voice line. So it's like a new character, quote unquote, but it's just the old character, if that makes sense. I think that is the most realistic compromise you can get right there. Because imagine getting Red Hulk, a new different character, a completely different character. It's the same model, but a completely different skin for Hulk and a completely different skin that's General Ross for the Bruce instead of Bruce Banner, and then give General Ross and the Hulk version different voice lines when they're in spawn room and when they're in the game, and then different animations so that way instead of like the electricity from the gamma energy, it's fire because his thing is when the madder he gets, the hotter he gets. I think that is a really, really cool idea. Hear me out. I think that is really, really cool. That's pretty much all I have to say this time. I just think that's a really cool idea, and I haven't seen many people talk about it since, like, people have dropped it because the devs said they aren't adding people with similar silhouettes. And I think that's how you can get a lot of characters that are like, oh, quote unquote, too similar. But even though they're different, but at their core they'd be the same. Like Red Hulk and Hulk, they're different. They have different powers with the fire versus getting it more angry. But at their core, they're kind of the same. Like, how would you do Red Hulk without the leap, without the Hulk's leap, or the Hulk slap, clap? Like, you kind of can't just do that. It's part of the core identity of being a Hulk. And I think the best thing you can do is like create a new character, quote unquote, but as a higher level of skin where you give them different voice lines and different animations. My only problem with that is that it costs too much. It probably costs like $30 instead of the 2,500, 2,200 that the skins cost. It probably costs like 3,000, and I don't know if people would be fine with that. But I think it'd be really, really good for the game because you get people who want to play Miles Morales but can't. Now they can. And because I think at the core, a lot of the characters that people want and they're afraid they're too similar, while they have different power sets, while there's different things that make them unique, at the core of their character, they are the same. Like, they are Spider people. They're not Spider-Man Miles Morales and Spider-Man Peter Parker as a New York civilian in the world of Marvel. They are both Spider-Man, cut and dry. And so how do you make Miles Morales not Spider-Man? So he doesn't feel like Spider-Man, he doesn't look like Spider-Man. Well, I think the best case scenario is just make the extra skin and make it like the higher tier with all that other stuff I said. But I don't know. What do you guys think? Because I haven't seen a lot of discourse on this. I saw like people arguing about it in different comment sections. People saying, "Oh, no, they're too similar," or "No, he's got so many more powers." But like, I don't know. I would like to know what you guys think. All right. Wet Willy.